and Mike, talking to Frank Johnson, who said that they got away from their focus, and of course, their energy level was non-existent in the second quarter. They got ahead, they played hard, but they have to do a much better job at transition defense because the Spurs outran them in the second quarter. Now, of course, Coach Popovich is happy the way his team plays. He said, we don't have our big team out there, so we got to play ratty. We got to do everything that's a little bit abnormal, but we got to board like we did. And Tim Duncan, they have to look to repost him so he can get a couple more looks. Guys?
Duncan just 6 points, yet the Spurs lead by 6. Scott Williams set up nicely. Williams can't hit. Again, San Antonio playing without David Robinson and Kevin Willis. And Tony Parker has 3 fouls.
San Antonio doing it again with defense. That's how they got the little spurt. Their offensive half-court game opened up after they got some easy fast break points. So it's not just in the numbers, but what it does to their half-court offense and how it widens the basket.
Phoenix hanging in there, back within 5, despite some problems from their starting front court. Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion were just superb in Game 1. In Game 2, they both struggled. Stoudemire still hasn't scored and combined 3 of 17 from the field.
If he doesn't start playing a little bit better, we'll be calling him the past instead of the future. You're brutal.
What have you done for me lately?
Hey, he's 20 years old. Like you say, he's got to work for that name in the future. The future insinuates like he's the next, Michael Jordan. He's not there yet.
He has had just a fabulous rookie season.
Rookie of the year, in my opinion.
People talk about how did he dip so far in the draft.
That's what I wonder.
He hurt his shoulder in one of his early workouts, and a lot of teams he didn't work out for.
Hey, they saw him play. That's ridiculous. If you're an owner of a team right now, you got to question that. You see a kid like that with that kind of power, athleticism, work ethic, and you pass him up in the draft.
Marbury misses.
At least have to explore. You at least have to have the interview and watch him work out in person. And he had some problems in high school and so forth, and some family issues. There were some red flags.
Oh, a nice feed into Duncan. Tough catch in traffic. Duncan can't hit. Jackson got hit in the face hard by Marbury, inadvertent, but Jackson really hurt.
Yeah, he took a hard shot to the face. Stephon tried to go and get the ball and accidentally hit Jackson in the nose.
That was just going for the basketball. Nothing intentional there.
That's just a little slap. A little delayed whiplash.
That's a little slap that hurts.
Yeah, it hurts.
So the foul on Marbury, his second. Jackson's been shooting well. Might have to shoot with one eye for a couple of minutes. Still a little foggy. 4-point game. San Antonio leads, 6.5 to play, and a whistle before the steal as Bo Outlaw and Malik Rose were battling down low, and they call the foul on Bo Outlaw.
The refs are just trying to settle it down a little bit. Everybody's getting a little testy out there and want to make sure that nothing gets out of hand.
So called a foul on a guy that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I love that.
Exactly.
But Outlaw doesn't care. He just loves to play. Parker, nice move for Parker. Jackson tips it, but it won't go, and Marion the rebound.
Again, you can see the length of Phoenix. Marion just kept that ball alive. Rose had better position.
Marion with 8 boards. Marbury inside, draws the personal. Let's see who they call it on. It's going to be hit. It's not against Parker. So, no, they do call it on Parker, and that only has 4. Greg Popovich trying to talk to Joe Crawford, who doesn't want to listen.
Has been excellent. No good looks for San Antonio.
After leading by 10, it's back to a 2-point game. Another whistle away from the ball.
Yeah, Outlaw and Rose are down there battling, trying to get position. Bo was trying to front Rose, and Rose was trying to fight around, and Outlaw ended up getting the foul called on him.
Bruce Bowen sits down. 3rd foul on Outlaw. Let's go to Reggie Theus.
Hey guys, Bo Outlaw is from San Antonio, but he was given the first Dan Marley Hustle Award by the Phoenix Sun. The guy's always out there, but hey Danny, I've never seen Dan Marley hustle. All I've ever seen him do is just shoot the ball.
Shoot and hold and grab. I can't believe they called it the Dan Marley Hustle Award.
Duncan misfires. Cheap shots. Dan, I'm on your side.
I'm going to get back to you guys on that in a second.
It's best not to respond. Rise above it. Stoudemire. Rose blocks the shot. Good help defense, and Stoudemire's frustrated. He's 0 for 7. And a technical foul called on the rookie. Amari Stoudemire with a T. Joe Crawford is not a referee that wastes a lot of time in handing out technicals, especially from a rookie who is very demonstrative running down the floor. Frank Johnson saying stay away from him. So is the clock. So Jackson will shoot the one-shot technical. Again, in the game. Suns extending the defense beautifully. Claxton lost it out of bounds. No, blast touch by Phoenix. 3 left on the 24.
Tim Duncan's shoe is off right now. He's asking to come out of the game just so he has time to put that shoe back on.
And they're going to put Ferry in. The heel came out.
Get him a shoehorn.
Malik Rose has to put it up, and he puts it in.
That's horrible defense right there. That's a major breakdown. Frank Johnson not happy. 3 seconds on the shot clock. You can't give up an open 15-foot jump shot, especially with Tim Duncan not in the game.
Rose 7 points off the bench. Spurs back up by 5. Ginobili on Hardaway. Well, Ginobili, very good defender. Nice feed from Hardaway. Pretty pass to Marbury.
They need him to step up a little bit and go to him, get him some opportunities, but he's got to assert himself as well.
He's got 10 rebounds, but only 6 points. Marbury falling away. Marbury finding the range again. 21 points. Leading scorer in the game is Stephon Marbury.
He's keeping him in it, but even that second free throw by Duncan, Dan, that was really, really flat. That could become an issue in the fourth quarter like it was in game 1.
Claxton loses it and then fouls Penny Hardaway. And the Spurs and the penalties, so Hardaway will shoot. This game bringing any memories of game 1? San Antonio up double figures, Suns hanging around.
This is exactly what the Suns have to do. They're not playing their best, neither San Antonio, but you know, when the fourth quarter comes and they're hanging around, as you saw the last game, anything can happen. So the Suns should be, you know, happy with where they are right now. You just got to keep it close.
Same with the Spurs, though, too, Dan. I mean, both teams are playing ugly. I mean, it's 12-10 in this third quarter. Now 13-10, and it's just that neither team can be happy with their offensive execution right now.
No, especially San Antonio. I mean, they can't allow Phoenix to hang around, especially with the confidence they have right now going into the fourth quarter.
Hardaway hits a pair. The lead again is 2. Spurs have led by as many as 10.
And not only with the confidence they have, but with Stephon Marbury, who's had 26 points in the fourth quarter against this Spurs team.
Duncan again tied up. Claxton again aggressive going to the basket. Jackson wide open for 3. Pascal the rebound. Blocking foul on Ginobili. It didn't appear he gave Marbury enough room to come down after he got the ball.
That's the right call. Good hustle to try to stop the break, but Steph doesn't even have a chance to see him right there.
Yeah, that was the correct call. And a good job by the Spurs there to work the ball around, and Claxton penetrating again and find a wide open jumper.
You've got to give the man time to come down after he catches it. Didn't appear he had time.
Harpering.
Matt Harpring's had a great year. What about Kirilenko? Inspector Gadget.
Yeah.
That guy's been sweet.
Marbury misses the free throw. Parker on the bench with 4 fouls. Everybody's career seems to get better when they go play with Stockton and Malone. Numbers always go up.
I wonder why that is.
Marbury now with 22.
He might average like 28 a game in Utah.
Who you talking to me?
Yeah.
You're not talking to me.
And they wouldn't have given you the hustle war because you had Stockton.
That's right. Steven Jackson for 3. Jackson off the mark. Marbury tips it nicely to Vasco. And the Spurs from 3-point range really struggling. 3 for 16. Remember, in game 1, they were 5 of 24. Vasco can't hold on, but regains it.
Looked like Joe Johnson had a lane right to the basket. Why he picked that ball up, I don't know.
This is the jumper. Ball, Ginobili with a nice save. Here comes Speedy Claxton. Good transition defense by the Suns.
They got to find some outside hoops, though.
Jackson, nice pass from Ginobili.
And we talked about, you know, when they get easy baskets, Steve Jackson's last 3 shots have been 3-pointers. There's an easy opportunity going to the basket, weak defense by the Suns, and those kind of the shots are the ones that make those long-range ones start falling.
Yeah, that was just a classic, going to sleep. They're looking for the ball going to Tim Duncan, and Steven Jackson just dipped in behind the defense for an easy layup.
Good play from Sean Marion to keep that one alive. Marbury. How do you stop him? He makes that little shake move.
That guy is so clutch. It's ridiculous. He's such a good player and has carried this team. He makes what this team is. Obviously with Marion and Stoudemire and those guys, but Marbury just had an excellent, excellent year.
Claxton blocked by Joe Johnson. Marbury always had the talent. Now he's become a good teammate.
He really has. I really enjoyed playing with him last year. He's one of my favorite point guards I've ever played with.
And he's called for a reach-in foul. Not a smart play there from Marbury as he picks up his third foul. But he is playing his best basketball this season by far.
And what happens so many times with young players is, coming out after his freshman year of college at Georgia Tech, there's so much pressure put on them to carry a franchise. They don't have time to just evolve into a player. He was supposed to be the point guard. Him and Kevin Garnett were going to be the future. And he played very well, very good when he was a young player in Minnesota. And everybody thought that team was going to be the team to beat down the road. And then on to New Jersey, and that was a disaster.
Well, he said it when he was in the playoffs in Minnesota. As a young player, he thought he was going to be there every year. And then what happened to him last year, I was in the locker room this year when they clinched the playoff berth, and he cried like a baby. He was so happy. So he really appreciates what he has now. He's going to make it, the most of his moments and go out and play as hard as he can and try to get this team to the next series.
Part of the problem, he brought some of it on himself. There was some selfish times when he wrote "all alone" on his sneakers when he was in Jersey, nicknamed himself Starbury, but he has grown up. Hardaway, the leaner. Manny Hardaway.
Popovich to give Tim 39 seconds off.
Did that in the first quarter, too. Spurs with a little zone.
But I always thought finishing quarters was huge. I mean, it's important to finish them strong.
Marion not shooting well tonight, but Joe Johnson right there for the follow.
See, just no contestant right there. Joe Johnson didn't even have to worry about it. Tim Duncan was in the game. He dribbles that ball out, and they play for one.
Final shot, third quarter. 24-second clock is off. Parker. Jackson for three. Won't go. Steven Jackson off the mark. And the three-point shooting continues to be a problem for San Antonio. Just 3 for 17. And 3 quarters complete. Spurs led by as many as 10 here in the third. But as we head to the fourth, the lead just 1.
There you see him just measuring up Joe Johnson, gives a nice little killer crossover and finish nicely with the left hand. Too much quickness for Joe to stop.
Meanwhile, Tim Duncan averaged during a regular season a little over 17 shots per game. In game 1, he only took 12. He's 5 of 11 through the first 3 quarters today.
This is when the stars step up. I expect Stephon Marbury to really step up here in the fourth quarter, and I think Tim Duncan's going to become a lot more aggressive.
Well, I think he has to. I was watching both teams go to the bench at the end of the quarter. The Suns were walking back, high-fiving each other. The Spurs had their heads down, kind of bowed. So they got to find a way to get their energy up, get the crowd back in the game, and get some things rolling here.
Not a good shot that time from Ginobili. Spurs have led by as many as 10. Parker back in the game with his 4 personal fouls. Joe Johnson, the floater. And Duncan able to get the tip.
Well, you got to love Malik Rose right there. He does a great job pushing Joe Johnson baseline into the shot blocker, then going to the weak side to get that glass. That is effort.
Parker for 3. Parker comes up short. Tony Parker struggling again from the field, just 1 of 6.
It just hasn't had a chance to get into the flow of this game because of the foul trouble.
Marbury rushed that one a bit, and Malik Rose with another rebound.
Spurs got to find a way to make a shot. They're 3 for 17 from the three-point line. Not getting too many good looks right now. They got to find a way to start scoring.
A quick collapse on Duncan. Ginobili gets in, blocked by Marion. Excellent defense from Sean Marion. Still going to be Spurs ball. First denying him up top, and then with the recovery.
That was a great play by Sean Marion right there, but that's because Ginobili had no right hand. He made a nice spin move, but he still shot it right into Sean Marion's hand.
Ginobili. Bruce Bowen, the offensive rebound. And Marbury rips down the board. Part of Marbury's reason for success. He is so strong for a point guard. Vasco. And gets the bounce, and the Phoenix Suns have their first lead of the second half.
Great play by Steph. Draws a double team, hits Vasco. Vasco doesn't see Tim Duncan coming over there. Throws the shot up. It got a little bit dark, but he got the roll.
You look at the second half shooting. Spurs 5 of 23 from the field in the second half. Parker has it poked away.
I mean, that was ridiculous. When Duncan got the ball, he had 3 guys on him that time, and he kicks it out to Parker.
Oh, what a move from Marbury, and the Suns back up by 3. Stephon Marbury, 26 points. And here in this second half, a 13-point turnaround. Phoenix of the point guards. Stephon Marbury, again, another brilliant performance, and he has completely taken Tony Parker out of the game.
Well, thank goodness for Speedy Claxton, who's kept them in this game. And they're only down by 3 on their home court. They should be in pretty good position right now. But they're shooting 34% from the field and just really struggle from the outside. And they're coming off the passer when they throw the ball to Duncan on the left side. If they put the ball in with a shooter, Dan, and just send the shooter to the corner, it makes that a very difficult rotation and double team.
I agree. I mean, it's been, hard rotation for a lot of the Suns, but bottom line is they missed a lot of open shots too. And in this game, you got to make shots, and they haven't been able to do it, whether it's a 3 or taking the ball to the basket. But I agree, if you got to get somebody in the game who's able to make a wide open 3.
But they're not great shooters.
They aren't.
I mean, it's not like a shock that these guys aren't making shots.
2 on the shot clock. Claxton has to put it up, blocked by Vasco, and a 24-second violation.
But I can't believe they haven't faced this all year long. I mean, they've won 60 games. They have Tim Duncan. I know David Robinson is out, but they've had to face this dilemma every once in a while when people are doubling Tim Duncan and leaving their shooters open to shoot the ball.
Well, they face it against Phoenix, and Phoenix has won 4 out of 5 against them, and if the key keeps up, it'll be 5 out of 6, and you got to start thinking of some changes. But a lot of time left in this game. They've won it with their defense, but they're shooting under 34% now with that last shot, and no matter win or lose, you got to find ways to score.
Marbury off the dribble, puts it in, and Phoenix back up by 8. I still think the key is how well Phoenix, after the double team, rotate and recover. They can still get out and contest the shots.
Yeah, and I agree with all that, but still, the shots that they are open, they're not, Steve Smith is a drop-dead shooter, although he hasn't had a chance to shoot all year, but when you're rotating out to these young guys, and Bruce Bowen, and Stevie Jackson, and Speedy Claxton, and Tony Parker, they are not classified as great. The Suns' confidence of their defense continues to rise the more the Suns struggle. I mean, the Spurs struggle.
Frank Johnson wants a full timeout.
That one blemish. So it's still an advantage.
Phoenix with a 6-0 run to start this fourth quarter. Offensive foul. Danny Ferry, who's played some good, solid defense tonight. Playing in the absence of Kevin Willis.
Yeah, Penny's eyes lit up when he saw Danny on him, and he was going to take him to the basket. He's had great success.
Let's go to Reggie Theus.
Hey, Mike, at the half, you remember Popovich who told me that he wanted to try to repost Tim Duncan in there when the double team comes. Tim is touching the ball, getting it out, and it's never coming back to him. He's only got 11 shots on 11 points tonight. Last game, only 12 shots. Danny, I think they got to get it to him more often.
And I love that because they got it to him in the middle where they could catch it without the double team. Quit going to the left block where they just come right off the passer and he has no chance, and they're forcing the other guys. But repost, we also saw that time right there. Penny Hardaway was double teaming Tim before he caught the ball.
Marbury with a high floater.
The Spurs are doing just a terrible job on the pick and roll with Stephon Marbury. You've seen the last couple plays, he's come off shot, wide open 15-footer, and there got all the way to the basket or layup. Either got a trap switch or just get the ball out of his hands. I mean, he's too good of a player to continue to let him get so many shots.
Jackson for 3. Spurs cannot shoot from three-point range. They continue to struggle now. 3 for 18.
Oh, you call that a lay-in by Stephon Marbury?
Well, that's his kind of lay-in.
Man, that was a teardrop.
That's what he's good at. There's another one, a wide open 15-footer off the screen. I mean, that guy's going to kill you if you continue to let him to keep the ball in his hands.
32 for Stephon Marbury. Once again, picking apart the San Antonio Spurs. This equals their largest lead of the game. Ferry for 3. Finally, the Spurs knock down a 3 and a whistle after. It's going to be called on Jake Bosco as he got into a little skirmish with Tim Duncan.
All right, that was huge. That was huge. The veteran Danny Ferry hasn't been hitting him real well, been playing a great floor game, but knocks down a big, big shot.
Watch these two. There's a shot going up, battling for position.
That's a bad call. I think so. Don't you? Or don't? You don't agree?
That's a no call.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A little bit. I mean, Bosco's doing the right thing. I mean, he started blocking out Tim Duncan the second Tim gave the ball up. Good play by Tim, though. Drawing the
well, I mean, it's a good play, but the ref shouldn't have made the call.
Looks like anything a double foul.
Yeah.
Duncan, meanwhile, a one shot because, of course, Jackson hit the jumper, so it's a one-shot foul. And Duncan able to put it in. He's been struggling to the fourth from the free throw line. 14 points, 11 rebounds for Duncan. Spurs back within 3.
I like what Claxton's doing here. He's picking up full court, putting some pressure on Stephon in the court, maybe to get his players behind him a little fired up.
Hardaway, dangerous pass. Joe Johnson, the floater. And Speedy Claxton continues to make big plays.
And a great job by Danny Ferry right there, boxing out.
Duncan wants the ball. Stoudemire on him. Duncan backs it in.
Suns were late on the double team. He turned, saw it, took his time, and threw it off the glass.
And that's the third basket, Dan, here in the second half, where he's made the basket from that block because of the double team is less effective on his right hand.
Marbury finding Johnson. Marion, tough shot contested by Jackson. And Ginobili comes away with it. Here come the Spurs.
Holy cow.
Out of bounds. Jackson couldn't control. Chaotic.
Ginobili a little out of control there. Tried to avoid the charge and throw it out to Steven Jackson. Made a bad pass.
Well, he should have thrown it up to Steve Jackson when he was back here on this end of the court. He should have just thrown it. Stevie Jackson had a one-on-one opportunity in the open court.
He's a different kind of cat, as Pop said.
We're approaching the midway point of the fourth quarter.
Well, this is the matchup Frank Johnson likes. I still like the ball in Stephon Marbury's hands right now, even though Penny has an advantage on Danny Ferry.
Hardaway lost it. Ginobili for 3. This place ready to erupt if that one went in. Marbury has been brilliant. His three-pointer won't go, and Ferry with the rebound. Danny Ferry with 8 boards, starting in place of Kevin Willis and David Robinson, both sitting out tonight for the Spurs.
That's where Marbury kind of gets ahead of himself a little bit. He's got to settle down, get to a pick and roll. They haven't been able to stop that all night. You can settle for that shot anytime.
Duncan looking for a shot. Beautifully backs it in. 8-0 run by San Antonio. They regain the lead.
And that's a trap by Stephon Marbury. He's 6 feet tall. He's not near as effective as when they come with 2 big guys down on him, like Kenny Hardaway or Sean Marion.
Yeah, I see Steven Jackson taking it, and there's Danny in the corner. Big shot for the Spurs. It kind of takes the lid off the basket, and they get the foul on Bosco. Here you see Duncan in the post. Double team's a little late. Takes it to the glass. Nice jump hook. Then Duncan again here is going to take the double team, and you know what he says? Forget you guys, I'm going to do this myself. I'm the best player in this league, and I'm going to carry the team tonight.
And a bad angle by Steph. Not only was Steph small down there, but he took a bad angle, allowed Tim to split the double team, and that's an absolute no-no. Make the other guys continue to beat you.
Duncan, 7 of his 18 have come here in the fourth quarter. Hardaway, a wide open 3, won't go down, and Duncan a rebound. His 12th board.
That's amazing. I mean, Penny Hardaway's had a great game with 17 points and 11 rebounds, 4 steals.
Claxton, Duncan couldn't hold on.
And thank goodness, because Sean and Amari, they're getting no production out of.
Marbury setting up Marion, but Jackson gets out on him. Ginobili pokes it away. He got poked in the eye. Marbury with 7 on the shot clock. Ginobili stays in front of him. Excellent defense. Ginobili, Johnson for 3. And the Spurs have really picked up their defenses. Ferry and Stoudemire. Just good hustle is the reason they both fell out of bounds.
Danny Ferry does get under your skin right there. There's no way he was going to get to that ball, but I guarantee you he was not going to let Amari Stoudemire get to that ball either. You see Ferry, great box out right here. Stoudemire working hard. Ferry does a good job of boxing out.
The old Ainge trick. I've seen it many times.
Ferry only averages about 9.5 minutes per game this season. Has played 27 in this crucial game for the Spurs. Jackson, that's a 2.
Did a great job of rotating the ball out of the double team, and Steven Jackson stepped in a few feet and shot the 17-footer instead of the 3-pointer and knocked it down.
A 10-0 run by the Spurs. They're back up by 3. Marbury Stoudemire. Oh, tough shot from the rookie right at Duncan.
And he's not even affected. He's over for the game. And the biggest point of the game 3 minutes ago, he just goes right up over Tim Duncan like, I don't know you're an MVP.
Just over 3.5 remaining. Duncan deflected by Marion. Shot clock at 7. Ferry for 3. And Marion tips it. Marbury can't hold on. Out of bounds. Last touch by Marbury. Ginobili's hands knocking it loose.
And that's a great hustle play by Ginobili right there. Great athleticism. These are the kind of plays that win. Loose balls. Who gets the loose ball? Steph does a good job. Can't control it. Stevie Jackson in there too.
Off the glass. Tim Duncan puts the Spurs up by 3.
Another easy basket out of bounds play by the Spurs. Good coaching.
Duncan 4 for 4 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Hardaway and a foul call on Danny Ferry. It's only the first team foul against the Spurs, so Phoenix will inbound.
Got to give Danny Ferry a lot of credit. Played a lot of minutes. He's battling. He's out playing Amari Stoudemire. He's playing Penny Hardaway. Now they got to match up with Joe Johnson. They're trying to take advantage of the Danny Ferry matchup. He's got to be exhausted, and his jump shot looks exhausted right now.
It's a 12-2 run.
Set shot.
5 on the 24. And a foul called. Danny Ferry very upset with 5 left on the shot clock.
Well, Hardaway pushed off there, but Danny got him on the first one, and that's what the ref called was the first foul.
And a smart play by Danny to not, to try to deny Penny the ball, because he knows if Penny catches it, he's had his way with Danny off the dribble.
5 fouls on Ferry, only the second team foul against San Antonio. The pick and roll, Stoudemire. 2 big buckets for the 20-year-old rookie.
It's not Stoudemire, it's Stoudemire.
1-point game with just under 3 to play. It's not a must-win situation for San Antonio, but it's pretty critical. Ball knocked away by Marion.
That's where his long arms, his athleticism, he got down there and made the steal when it looked like Duncan was open.
Well, there's wide open players all around.
Stoudemire again, offensive foul. Ferry draws the charge. Danny Ferry with another big play.
This is a huge play. Are you kidding me? Stoudemire does a good job of rolling. Ferry anticipating in perfect position outside the lane, sacrifices his body. Plus he gets to lay on the floor for about 10 seconds to rest.
Stoudemire had missed his first 7 field goals before hitting those last 2. Jackson for 3. Marbury skies for the rebound. 1-point game as we come up on 2 minutes remaining. And the number 8 seed win 2 on the road.
Stevie Claxton's doing a great job forcing Marbury out where he hasn't made one from the outside.
And Ferry saves it to Claxton. Danny Ferry with a season-high 10 rebounds.
You better call a timeout for Danny Ferry so he has a chance of making a shot when it comes to him. Because I guarantee you there's no oxygen to the brain right now.
Claxton blocked by Stoudemire. Popovich wanted a goaltend, but that appeared to be on the way up.
That did look like on the way up. Great play by Stoudemire.
Marbury, Marion for 3. Stoudemire, the rebound. Can't finish, and Jackson with the rebound. No one can hit a shot, and Popovich wants timeout. Thank you. Phoenix Suns trying to go 2 up in this best-of-7 series and giving the San Antonio Spurs the number 1 seed in the West everything they can handle once again. Spurs led early, up by as many as 10, had a 10-point lead in the third quarter. Suns, though, stormed back, and they led by as many as 7 here in the fourth quarter. But Tim Duncan has scored 9 of his 20 in the fourth. And now San Antonio with the ball, a 1-point lead. Each team with a foul to give, and each team with a couple of timeouts remaining.
Well, this is where the free throw shooting comes in, execution. I like the Suns at this point right now because Steph is on a roll. They're going to take Tim Duncan away, and the Suns have better supporting scores.
And how about Speedy Claxton in the game at crunch time? Ferry. Ginobili for three. Leonard Ginobili from downtown. Spurs by 4.
Huge shot by Ginobili. He's been struggling the whole series from the outside. No hesitation at all.
Marbury, high off the glass. Claxton the rebound. That ball was inbounds. Top of the backboard is okay. They don't need to foul right away, although they have a foul to give. Jackson, Duncan is fouled. Hardaway had to hit him, and Tim Duncan will shoot 2 with 33.5 seconds remaining, and the Spurs leading by 4.
A great play by Steve Jackson right here, penetrating right there. Duncan's got to catch and finish that ball. Good foul. Very frustrated.
Here's Barry coming out to Ginobili, who catches, looks at Joe Johnson and lets it fly. Big shot for the young rookie. Great shot for him.
Second straight game, Duncan at the free throw line in a crucial situation. He missed the 2 big ones at the end of game 1.
Steve Jackson praying on the right side of the lane down there for Tim to get it over the top of the rim.
There's about 19,000 people in this building that are praying, actually.
Duncan now 3 of 5 from the line tonight. 10 points here in the 4th quarter. Duncan comes right back and pumps his fist. Another standing ovation as the Suns call a 20-second timeout. They'll foul right away. Spurs, as we mentioned, not a good free throw shooting team. Hardaway just misses on the 3. Marion keeps it alive, and it goes to Ferry. And precious time will go off the clock. Suns now have to foul.
Well, Sean Marion's played 45 minutes and has 6 points.
And Frank Johnson screaming, and they let so much time off the clock. Very poor decision-making there from the Suns.
Well, you can't rely on the coach. I mean, there's 19,000 people going crazy in here. As a player, you have to know, if we don't score, we have to foul right away. You know, people are looking over to the bench looking what to do. That's too late.
You've got to know to get him right away in the backcourt. So much time elapsed before they finally committed the foul. And Jackson puts them up by 7 with 12 seconds to go, and the Spurs on the verge of tying this series.
I still feel like they have to make some adjustments. I mean, very poor shooting, 36% for San Antonio. That's not good enough. They got to make some adjustments. They're lucky they're 1-0. They could be 2-0 in this series. But on offense, they got to find ways, Dan, to get, you know, at least shoot 40, 43, 45%.
Well, I agree with you.
Their defense again. You know, Popovich told us before the game, if we can keep this game in the 70s and 80s, that's our style of game. If the Suns go out and score more, it's tough. Their defense has been phenomenal throughout the series. But offensively, you know, maybe the rest of the league is starting to see. Take Tim Duncan out and rotate out, it's going to be tough. And at the same time, maybe the San Antonio Spurs support players will get better as they go through this a few more times.
Well, I think Danny Ferry did a fantastic job of starting today. Didn't shoot the ball very well, but gave a lot of little things that helped. Rebounding, getting under people's skin, those kind of things. Then Speedy Classic came off the bench and did a huge job. I thought he was terrific.
Ferry, a season-high 31 points, a season-high 10 rebounds. Claxton playing with Parker ineffective again. That's a 2-pointer from Hardaway. Marion the rebound. Marbury can't connect. And this series is tied at 1 apiece.